Another ugly protest in Sydney last night. Pro-Palestinian or anti-Israel protesters targeted the Great Synagogue in the CBD. Yeah, they claim to be opposed to the Israeli government only, not Jews. Yet they targeted a synagogue, leaving Jewish Australians holed up inside. Yeah, just terrible stuff. The whole river to the sea bile was rolled out again. And police just stood by and watched, even though today the New South Wales Police declared that this was an unauthorised protest. But have a look at what happened when a Jewish man tried to unfurl an Israeli flag across the road.
Shame on you!
Go away.
Okay,
no, you're going away this way and you're going away. You're just antagonising him. No need to be here.
Yeah, here we go again, hey? The aggressive protesters yelling bile against Israel and forcing people to lock down inside a synagogue, well, they're left alone. But the citizen attempting to fly an Israeli flag is grabbed by police and taken away to be read the riot act.
I'll detain you for breach of the peace, mate, because that just antagonises them, okay? There's a chance that they could get upset and they can hurt you. We don't have the police to stop 50 people coming across and attacking you.
What on earth is going on here? Haven't the police got this the wrong way around? Listen to this exchange and remember that the police have said today that the anti-Israel protest was unauthorised.
What makes their activity not breach of the peace?
They're allowed to protest.
Have they filled the Form 1?
Yes, they have.
They haven't.
No, they have. I've received it.
They
doesn't matter. They've received it. You're allowed to protest. Now, having someone come in and antagonising a protest is where the breach of the peace.
Now, someone has got something wrong here. Either that inspector was wrong or the police got it wrong today. Either way, the police issued an infringement notice to one man who refused to comply with instructions, and the man in that video, Ofir Birenbaum, was not charged because he complied. And he joins me now live in Sydney. Thanks for joining me, Ofir. It's good to talk to you. Tell me first up, when you unfurled that flag, what did the protesters yell out to you, and did you yell anything back?
I was peaceful, yet been accused of breaching the peace. I didn't say anything. I heard disgusting, shame on you, the typical cesspool phrases like genocide, murderer, blood on your hands, you know, just another Wednesday for us Jews, Zionists, yeah?
Yeah, and it's extraordinary to hear the police say today that there was an unauthorised protest, yet you challenged that with the inspector last night who told you it was authorised, and that was his only justification for you moving away, because this was their protest, approved, and therefore you were antagonising them by being there and waving your flag. I mean, I just don't understand why waving a Palestinian flag and chanting bile is okay, but standing there silently with an Israeli flag is not.
I believe the context does matter in this case. There's a very clear difference between me going on a Sunday afternoon in the city to their protest waving an Israeli flag. And that's how the police treated me. Like I crashed their event and wanted to interrupt. But the reality was it was an Israeli event in a synagogue celebrating Israeli innovation. Hence me rocking up with an Israeli flag. This is the expected and the natural thing to do, while having a Palestinian flags and other flags and signs like rivers of blood and eat the rich, that does not belong in the Jewish pro-Israel event in a synagogue. The question we need to ask ourselves, why did I breach the peace and they allegedly didn't?
Well, that is the extraordinary thing. You've explained it perfectly there. There was an event at the synagogue. It had nothing to do with the war in the Middle East. And these people have targeted that Israeli event at a place of worship with their bile rants and with their flags. And yet the police protected them and just stood guard and targeted you instead. Did you have anything to do with the other man who was fined? Did you see what occurred there, or do you know the details?
The irony is, everyone asked me if I got arrested, and I wasn't arrested. I was detained, and I didn't realize there was another person about an hour and a half after me. I do know that person that happened to walk in that street, and it was shocked to see in front of a synagogue a pro-Palestinian or pro-Hamas, whatever you might want to label it, protest, and he felt compelled to have an Israeli flag on just because this is our place of worship, the only place we would hope to feel safe, yet we were, as you mentioned before, locked, and it wasn't just we were locked there. At the end of the event, they had a bit of a discussion, which exit should we use, and only exit in groups of 10. God forbid have our Star of David or our yarmulkes. We should flip the bags of the Technion University because we don't want to be recognized as Jews or Israeli or Zionists.
How terrible.
Absolutely.
What a terrible way to have to behave in your own city. I feel for you, Ofir, and thanks so much for joining us. I appreciate it. Ofir Birenbaum there. You saw how he was treated by the New South Wales police last night. You saw how they treated the protesters. Confusion from the police about whether that was authorised or not. We'll try and get some clarification from them yet again.